Nasubukan mo bang mag-apply sa onlinejobs.ph at wondering bakit walang nagre-reply sa'yo? Yung tipong nag-apply ka, nag-intay ka ng ilang araw, ilang buwan, pero wala pa rin ni isang reply sa mga application mo. Yeah, I know it's frustrating and darating sa point na tatanungin mo yung sarili mo if this online job site even works. Pero alam mo yung sa tingin ko, the real problem isn't the platform. It's how most beginners apply and present themselves at onlinejobs.ph. Kasi alam mo, kahit di ka nag-a-apply dito, makakakuha ka pa rin ng clients dito kasi they send you job requests or job invitations. Kasi just in my case, I've been receiving multiple messages just for me to apply sa mga job listings dito na hindi ako nagsasend ng mga job proposal. So, in the next few minutes, I explain exactly how you can start doing simple fixes to your online jobs profile so that people could reach out to you. But before that, let's answer the question first. Is onlinejobs.ph actually legit? Okay, the first thing na tanong natin siguro sa sarili natin dito, bago pa tayo mag-create ng account, is onlinejobs.ph actually a legit platform to find work from home jobs? Kasi yan ang kadalasan na doubt ng mga tao. Kung scam ba, kung may clients ba talaga, kung may nagre-reply ba talaga pag nag-apply ka. Kasi syempre nakakatakot naman syempre magsayang ng oras kung yung site na a-applyan mo ay sasayangin lang ang oras mo kasi wala naman nagre-reply. Kasi sa dami ng mga platforms online, dami na nag-o-offer ng mga opportunities, pero sa daming opportunities na yon, iilan lang doon talaga yung legit. At karamihan, mga horror stories ng mga taong na-scam yung nababasa mo. Paying fees sa mga online job listings na hindi naman dapat. And ang ending, they never land a single gig or worse, na-scam pa sila dahil naglalabas sila ng pera. Imbes na sila yung sahuran, sila pa yung naglabas ng pera. And yes, the truth is, may mga fake postings naman talaga here and there just like on almost any free platform that we know. Hindi naman mawawala yan. Basta pagdating sa pera, yan, sa trabaho, asahan mo na may mga masasamang loob talaga na talagang nag-e-exist. Kahit sa ang online platform, may possibility pa rin talaga na ma-scam ka. And that's why it can feel tricky at first. Some job listings, yung mga job post po, biglang nawawala and some employers never pay. May mga kilala po tayo dyan. Nag-work ng isang buwan, tapos after nun, hindi na nag-reply yung client kasi tinakbo na yung trabaho. Pagkatapos yung trabahuhin, after 1 month, tumakbo na, hindi na nagpakita. Pero ito yung hindi alam ng maraming tao, especially for people na gustong maghanap ng legit na work. Onlinejobs.ph has already been running for many years, and it continues to be the go-to site for Filipino freelancers. It started way back 2008. 4th year high school pa lang po ako, nandyan na si onlinejobs.ph. Now I'm 34 years old. And it started way back since I was 16. And if kung talagang scam talaga yung site, hindi naman yan maglalast ng matagal and build a solid reputation. So sa simulat sa pool pa lang, nag-work ako as a virtual assistant, nung 2014, nandyan na yan. Nandyan yung pinakaunang client kung saan ko nakuha yung trabaho ko. Pero yun nga, syempre, yung mga unang ko nakuha trabaho dito, minsan like 1 month lang, 2 months lang, kasi mga small gig lang, mga short gigs lang. And ang kagandahan dito, si onlinejobs.ph, unlike any other platform, hindi siya middleman. It's not an agency. Though they don't get a cut, hindi sila makikihati doon sa kikitain mo. So, if you tried sites like Upwork or Fiverr, usually they take percentage of your pay, sometimes up to 20% or more just by using their system, yung mga Upwork, pagbago yung client mo, kukuhanin nila yung 20% mo. So kung kumita ka ng 100, 80 pesos lang yung makukuha mo. But with onlinejobs.ph, you and the client deal directly with each other. Kayong dalawa lang. Bahala kayo, bahala kayo sa payment terms, kung saan ka sasahod, sa schedules nyo sa trabaho, kung graveyard shift ba yan or morning shift, yung task loads, yung rate, without anyone slicing off a fee from your sahod. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun, buong-buo mo makukuha yung sahod mo. And yes, every single day, oras-oras, makakakita ka ng mga jobs dito, napasok doon sa mga pwede mong maging requirements, catering to almost all skill sets or niche. Ayan, magagalit na naman yung iba kasi yung iba pag nagsasabi ako ng niche, sasabihin nila sir, yung pronunciation po, niche, hindi po niche. Okay na, kayo na magaling sa grammar. Okay, from general VAs to copywriting, to video editing, Facebook ad buyers, bookkeeping, AI-related skills, funnel building, at marami pang iba. And yan, sa company namin, no, sa Diet versus Disease, ito rin ang ginagamit namin mostly to hire new VAs, no, to look for new VAs or employees in the Philippines. So nakakatiyak ako na legit talaga yung mga nag-hire dito. Kasi kami mismo sa company namin dito kami nag-hire, and yes, walang processing fee, no. Hindi ka hihingan ng pera bago ka hire dito. At kung merong mga recruiters or job listings ang magbe-message sa'yo asking for money, wag mong i-entertain. Kasi syempre, occasionally, may mga scammers na mag-slip ng job listing dito. Pero alam mo na agad na red flag pag nanghingi sila, no. At kapag ang employers ay makipag-online meeting tas ayaw nila ipakita yung face nila, meron silang tinatago, para sa akin red flag yan. In the end, onlinejobs.ph is real and it does work, no. Filipinos had been hired through it consistently, and employers overseas still prefer it finding talent quickly. The challenge is for you is to position yourself in a way that employers notice. And that starts with building credible proof inside your profile, not just skills, but also the hidden metric many beginners overlook, no. May natawag tayong hidden metric, and that's exactly what we talk about next, starting with the mysterious ID proof score, no, that silently decides if an employer even clicks on your application. The ID proof score everyone overlook. A lot of beginners wonder bakit yung mga applications nila ay parating na-i-ignore kahit na maraming silang skills or enough naman yung mapawaw nila yung clients sa mga skills nila. The strange thing is, hindi talaga yung resume or even the way our cover message was written that causes the problem. Hindi yun. Kasi there's one hidden number on onlinejobs.ph profile that quietly decides if yung mga employers even bother to look at you. And it's called the ID proof score. And it ranges from 0 to 100. This score works like a trust rating, no? Yung parang tiwala ng tao, no? Para pag nakita yung number na yun, ay magmumukha kang katiwa-tiwala or hindi, no? Or the other way around. The higher it is, the more likely an employers feel safe na makipag-usap sa'yo. So kung mas mataas yun, syempre yung tao, hindi ka i-indyan agad-agad, no? Hindi ka tatanggalin agad sa listahan. Kumbaga, papansinin ka, no? Kahit papano. But here's the catch. Most companies put a filter in their job posting so that only applicants with a minimum score pass through. The standard number they look for is at least 50. 50 yon. Pero kung nakita nyo naman yung sa akin, 95 siya, di ba? And in this video, sasabihin ko sa inyo yung mga ginawa ko para ma-reach yung 95, no? Minsan, umaabot pa yan ng 100, pero syempre siguro naiya na lang yung system, binawasan ng 5 yung sa akin. And if you're below that, if you're below 50, kung yung trust score mo lang is 50, even you write the perfect bio or have the strong skills, kung talented ka talaga, your application might never even land in the employer's inbox. Ganun kasimple yon. That's why so many beginners feel like they're sending message into a black hole. Parang nagsisend sila pero wala hindi nakakarating. Nandun sa kalawakan yung application nila. They don't realize the system itself is quietly blocking them because of this low score. So, how do you raise this trust rating number ba? Paano siya itataas? Okay, the setup is fairly simple but requires you to complete a few verification. The first you need is to confirm your email address, which is super easy. Once you log in, they're going to ask you to confirm your email address. And pipindutin nyo lang yung confirm email address, tapos i-email kayo, tapos pipindutin nyo yung email nyo for that confirmation para tumaas-taas yung konti yung ID proof score nyo, yung trust rating score nyo. And the next one is yung phone verification naman. Usually yung phone text lang yan, no? Pag verify niyo yung phone nyo, lalagay niyo yung number nyo doon, may isa-send sa'yo na code na parang anim na number, and then you're going to put it in the online jobs page kapag nag-text sila. And that adds a layer of assurance that you are a real person. So tataas ng konti yung ID score nyo. And the most important verification, ito yung mga dapat gawin mo talaga, is uploading one valid government ID, issued ID. And yes, the ID verification, yan talaga ang malaking factor, no? Parang pag nag-upload ka ng ID mo, 60, more than 50 ka na agad. Sa ID pa lang, natataas agad yung ID proof score nyo. Without it, the system won't really give you a chance pag wala kang ID. Talagang kailangan talaga ng ID. Ma-reach mo yung threshold most employers are searching for talaga kasi above 50 ka na agad. So, mawawala na agad yung barrier kung i-entertain ka talaga ng employers, no, or future employers mo. Katulad ng ginawa ko, no, ginamit ko yung driver's license ko para ma-reach ko yung 95% trust rating together with the phone call verification, no, tsaka yung email verification. Tapos nagbigay pa ako ng billing ko, no. Pero yung billing kasi pwede rin yun, no. Yung mga documents, yung mga utility bills, yung tubig, internet nyo, proof of residence, like barangay certifications, kapag nagbigay ka pa, mas tataas pa yon. Pero nga, bakit nga? No? But why? Why is this important? Bakit important tong mga bagay na to for employers? Because, no, when they post a job, they could get hundreds of applications. Marami silang natatanggap only in just a few hours. Imagine trying to sort through all of those na application. The ID proof score lets them quickly filter out application who haven't shown proof na totoong tao sila. So, if hindi ka nag-upload ng ID mo, nag-verify ng email, ng phone, out ka na agad. It's simple as it is. No? From their perspective kasi, it's not about whether you can do the job, whether you can edit your videos, you can write perfect English, or do customer service. It's about system trust. No? If you don't care enough to verify your identity, they assume you're not serious. That's why the number carries so much weight. Kaya yung ID proof score na yan, so sobrang mahalaga talaga yan. Para sa maraming clients, it protects them from wasting time on fake accounts or unserious job seekers. Kasi syempre, kung di ka mag-upload ng ID mo, isang dahilan lang nun na hindi ka talaga seryoso. Kahit saan namang offline job kahit offline ka mag-apply ng trabaho, di ba? Syempre, hingan ka ng ID, kailangan makilala ka ng mga kumpanya na may totoo kang identification. Kahit mag-apply ka sa ibang kumpanya, kahit hindi online, di ba? So yun, no? Once you finally break past that 50 mark, 50 yung more than 50 na yung ID proof score mo, things starts to change. Employers actually begin to notice you, no? Nasa search na yung profile mo, binibigyan ka na ng attention, no? Your applications, no, don't vanish into the system anymore kapag nag-apply ka, pag nag-send ka ng job proposal or nag-apply ka sa mga job post listings, na tinitignan na yung application mo. And makakapasok ka na dun sa email inbox kasi nga hindi na filter out. Kasi syempre, pinifilter kasi nila, no, meron sa job, sa employer side na kapag hindi naka-verify yung ganito, wag mong ma-receive. Parang ganun yun. And that small shift makes the difference between never hearing back and getting your first interview. It's a quite but powerful gatekeeper. So bago ka pa ma-stress on applying on too much job posts or wondering wala na nagre-reply sa'yo, make sure mag-focus ka muna on this score first. Patasin mo muna yung ID proof score mo. It's like na ina-unlock mo yung pintuan para at least makonsider ka, no? And once nabukas na yung pinto, then your profile and skills starts working for you instead of against you. The good news is, kapag naiintindihan mo na at naayos mo na yung ID proof score mo, you already tackled one of the biggest reasons beginners fail on the platform. And yes, pagtapos ka na sa trust rating factor, another thing, isa pa yung kailangan mo i-consider is yung mistakes almost everyone makes. Ano ba yon? Is the way they describe themselves inside the platform. Yung pagsulat nila ng bio, yung sa profile nila. And that often matters even more because that is the very first thing employers read once they finally see your profile. How to write a bio employers can't ignore. Ikaw siguro nag-iisip kung bakit yung some of the online jobs.ph profiles, kung titignan mo parang parehas naman, pero yung unti lang yung mga nanonotice ng client. You see two applicants claiming to be virtual assistants but both saying they can do admin work, no, parehas silang marunong mag customer service or social media, yet somehow, no, the employer instantly clicks on one profile and skips the other. You see, the secret is almost never the skillless, no, kasi lahat naman pwedeng maglagay ng maraming skills but it's usually how the bio was written, no. The short paragraph at the top of your profile works like a headline on your resume. Para siyang nagsiserve as resume mo. Employers scan it just few seconds. Syempre sa sobrang daming application, ni-scan lang nila yan for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And if it's vague or boring, they don't even bother reading yung profile mo, yung bio mo. And syempre, hindi ka nabibigyan ng attention. This is where most beginners makes mistakes. A lot of new freelancers or virtual assistant either write something too generic, no? Parang yung gamot generic. Hindi branded. Like, I'm a hardworking VA, or they overcomplicate it by copying an AI-generated script. And yes, I know many of you might test ChatGPT or other tools to write the bio for you. At first, it looks polished at kala mo perfect na yung profile mo kasi nga AI na yung gumawa, computer na Yung sentences are well-structured, perfect yung grammar, tapos yung tone very professional na professional. Pero here's the truth. Employers are not fooled. Di mo sila maloloko. Ang dami na nilang, no? They already read hundreds of these AI-style bios and this all sounds the same, no? Robotic, no? Tsaka impersonal. Parang sobrang professional, parang walang flow, no? They can easily detect when someone just copied and pasted a template kapag template, alam mo naman mafe-feel mo naman kahit di ka employer, kahit ikaw lang mismo. When they see that, it signals laziness, pagkatamaran. Kasi nangongopya ka lang siguro, minsan, punta ka lang sa ibang VA, tapos kukopya mo yung profile nila, tapos iyon na yung profile mo, no? It makes them think you didn't even take a few minutes to introduce yourself in your own words. Instead, what employers wants to see is authenticity. Kung totoo ka ba talaga. They want something na totoo. Na ikaw talaga ang nagsulat, na gumawa. They want something that gives them a glimpse of your background, your work style, and the kind of roles you've already handled. And it doesn't need to be long. Di kailangan ng mahaba. In fact, short and clear lang. Short and clear. A few key details makes a huge difference. Gaya ng ilang years ka na ba nag-work sa current position mo ngayon, no? Kung nag-work ka, ilang years ka na nag-work. What certain roles, no? Yung mga role, or what industries na yung pinagtrabahuhan mo, no? Sa healthcare ka ba? Sa IT industry? Yung mga employers gustong malaman kung ano ba ang hinahandle mo na. E-commerce ba yan? Real estate, or if nag-work ka sa corporate, no, maybe corporate clients, because it tells them you understand the workflow in their industry na. Okay, let me give you a concrete example. Eto, a weak bio line might say, I'm a hardworking and reliable VA with strong skills in admin tasks. Ganyan. Yan ang mga kadalasang sinusulat ng mga VA na bio, no? That's kind of sentence that disappears in a sea of identical profiles. Pag ganyan ang ginawa mo, sigurado, hindi papansanin yung account mo. Compare that with a stronger version na ito. For the past 2 years, merong timeline, may chronological, diba? For the past 2 years, I managed 2 Shopify stores, processed daily customer orders, and answered more than 50 customer emails per day. Diba? Nakita niyo yung kaibahan, no? Doon sa isang sinabi natin. Makikita mo talaga specific and measurable yung ginawa niya, no? Parang totoo talaga. It doesn't just say you're hardworking. It shows proof through actual responsibility and numbers, 'di ba? Sabi diyan, 'di ba? Answering more than 50 customer emails per day. Meron siyang proof, meron siyang number na parang magmumukha ka talagang totoo, no? Siyempre si client na tinitignan niya yung detalye. Now, you might ask, what if I'm a beginner and I don't have much experience yet? The key here is to focus on any relevant background you do have. Maybe you work in a corporate office before, answering phone calls or doing admin reports. You can translate that into virtual work by writing it clearly. For example, I worked as an office clerk for 1 year where I handled data entry, prepared basic reports, and updated records on time. Employers value honesty more than exaggerated skills, no? So, if you try to claim you are an expert in a task you never done, it will show during the interview and you lose all credibility. Makikita talaga ng amo mo. Pag yung mga pinagsasabi mo dyan, inexaggerated mo, no? Lalabas yan. Tandaan mo, walang sikretong di nabubunyag. This is why authenticity matters. Your bio is not just about listing random adjectives like hardworking or team player. Hindi kasi yun na may measure eh. Those are empty phrases unless you give evidence. Kasi yung evidence, makikita na yan. Oh, kunyari, binigyan ka ng chance for interview. Tatanungin ka, paano ka naging team player eh? Paano ka naging hardworking? Anong ginawa mo? No? Pero kung aayusin mo yung profile mo, bibigyan mo ng numbers, doon pa lang kita na nila. Di na yan tatanungin during interview, no? So, every sentence should answer these simple questions. Number 1, what did you do? Ano ginawa mo? How did you do it? Paano mo ginawa? Who you did it for, kanino mo ginawa. If you practice writing your bio with that simple formula, you avoid sounding generic, keep it conversational, parang nagsasalta ka lang, nakatabi mo yung tao in the same way you describe your past work to a friend. Another helpful tip is to avoid long paragraphs. Tandaan mo, yung employer, sobrang busy niyan. They scan profiles quickly, no? Write in short, clear sentences. 2 to 3 short paragraphs lang dun sa bio mo, enough na yon. That way, they can immediately understand your strengths without feeling overwhelmed by too much text. Kasi syempre, pag sobrang haba niyan, sobrang haba ng storya mo, pas agad yan. Hindi na yan babasahin pag sobrang haba. Pero at least kung 2 to 3 paragraphs lang, tapos 2 sentences each paragraph, at nakadetalye na agad yung ano yung gusto nilang malaman, yung kunyari may experience ka, sino yung mga nakatrabaho mo, ano yung ginawa mo doon, madali na nilang mascan at madali ka na lang shortlist. And here's something you should always remember. You don't need to be perfect in English grammar to impress. Okay? What matters is being clear. No, employers hiring through onlinejobs.ph are usually looking for reliable workers, hindi po English teacher. Hindi sila naghahanap ng English teacher. Kaya kung kinakabahan ka kung dahil hindi perfect yung English mo or during interview hindi perfect yung English mo, huwag ka nang kabahan kasi hindi naman sila nag-hire ng English teacher. Nag-hire sila ng reliable workers. Kung nakakaintindi ka ng English, kung nakakapagsalita ka ng English, enough na yon at naiintindihan ka nila, no? As long as they understand your point, that's what counts. So the next time you update your bio, skip the generic words, avoid AI copy pasting, and keep it honest and specific. No, just the first 30 seconds of reading, an employer will feel. Mararamdaman nila yan whether you are a serious candidate or just another profile or copy-paste profile. At kapag na-feel nila nakakaiba ka, you already increase your chances of getting an interview. Pero of course, no, the bio is only half the battle. Kalahati pa lang yan. After they read it, the very first next thing nila na gagawin nila is to check yung skills mo, yung skills list and how you rated yourself. Kasi sa onlinejobs.ph, magsaset ka ng skills mo at kung gaano kagaling doon, kung 5 stars ba, kung 4 stars, no? And that part decides whether they trust you or they start doubting you. So let's talk about how to handle your skill ratings the right way. Skill and ratings, what employers actually look for. Paano kung sabihin ko sa'yo na kung sa way ng pag-rate ng skills mo sa onlinejobs.ph ay maaari maging dahilan kung bakit ka i-view ng employers or future clients mo online. If it sounds simple, no? Parang simple lang. Set mo lang skills, no? And just click 5 stars to each skill na napili mo. But the truth is, the star ratings you choose give employers their very first impression of how honest and reliable you are. Dito pa lang makikita na. And if you don't understand how they read those ratings, you can unintentionally scare them away, no? Aalis agad sila sa'yo because on this online job platform, you're asked to pick your top skills and then rate them on a 5-star scale. You can also add other skills with ratings. Madali lang siya, no? But here's where many beginners wrong, no? Mga beginners laging nagkakamali. Yung temptation, no, to give themselves 5 stars in everything. Data entry, 5 stars. Social media management, 5 stars. SEO, 5 stars. Video editing, 5 stars. Canva design, 5 stars. Parang sa kagustuhan nating matanggap, kahit hindi tayo magaling sa isang bagay, nilalagay natin sobrang galing natin. Kasi ang lalabas dyan, kahit hindi mo man sadyain, no, ay lalabas na ikaw ang pinakamagaling sa lahat. And that might feel like a smart move. Para sa'yo, di ba? Okay yun. Kasi ikaw lalabas na magaling eh. Kasi after all, you want employers to see you as a skilled and capable. But in reality, nagbabackfire yan. Kasi yung mga employers, they actually notice this because these people, they actually review dozens of profiles every single day. No, especially pag tambay sila sa onlinejobs.ph, no. Pag post nila job listing, dami nilang makikitang profile. And let's face the truth, no one becomes a pro at all those feeds at the same time, no. Claiming, no, pag nagki-claim ka that you're the top level at every skill, no, lahat na lang ng skill, ikaw yung pinakamagaling, makes you less believable. Hindi ka panipaniwala. Parang instead of thinking, wow, this person is super talented, no? They're going to be thinking, no, it's so for exaggerating, nag-exaggerate to. So, out ka na agad just by looking on your skills. Alam na nila agad, malalaman nila, no? And once that doubts enter their mind, they move on to the next profile. Ganun lang kabilis yun. Kasi sobrang daming nag-a-apply eh. Madami kang option eh, no? Pag dito pa lang sa skill set, lahat nakita mo, uy, magaling to sa lahat ah. Magaling sa SEO, tapos magaling din sa video editing, 5 star. Out na to. Kasi may mga clients na ang filter, they actually filter out profiles. Kaya nila yun guys eh. Pag nafi-filter nila yung profile where everything is rated 5 stars, mafi-filter nila yun. Meron silang option na gano'n on the recruiting side, no? Kung ikaw ang option mo is yung applying side, application side na makapag-set ka ng stars, meron din naman silang option para ma-filter ka na pag maraming 5 stars na ganito, off sa kanila yun kasi it just looks fake. It's fake, no? Think about it. Eto, kung totoo kang video editor, oo, medyo may pagkaalam ka sa basic SEO kung pag magaling kang video editor, kung totoong video editor ka. But probably won't rate themselves an expert sa dalawang field. no, dalawang field, 'di ba? Hindi pwede eh. Lalo na kung 1-2 years experience ka pa lang tapos 5-star ka sa dalawa. 2 taon na master mo yung dalawa. Doon pa lang kitang-kita na 'yon. A strong SEO specialist but have played with Canva, no, marunong siya mag-Canva, WordPress, but won't claim mastery. Kasi nga hindi siya expert doon sa dalawang 'yon. Magaling siya sa SEO pero hindi siya magaling sa Canva. Marunong lang siya mag-Canva, marunong siya mag-WordPress. So hindi niya lalagyan ng 5-star parehas. That's how you show that, by highlighting where you're strong and keeping the rest at a modest rating. Employers trust that pattern more because it looks human, not fake, no? Kung perfect na perfect ka, para kang AI. So, paano mo gagawin ng tama? How you do it right? The best approach is to focus on just 2 or 3 skills you're most confident about and rate them honestly. Honest to goodness lang. Honest to goodness. Yun totoo lang, no? Maging totoo ka sa sarili mo. If you're really comfortable with Canva designs and admin tasks like data entry, give those higher rating. Mong masama. 5-star, Canva, data entry, 5-star ako. But if you only know the basic of SEO or WordPress, mark yourself lower. 2 to 3 stars, pwede na yan. Kung alam mo lang yung basic, 2 stars, 3 stars. Employees like seeing variety, but what they value even more is knowing where true strengths are. Kung ano ba yung totoong galing mo, kung saan ka talaga may talent, may skills. This helps them imagine what role you actually fit in. Pwede naman, kunwari, you want to be an SEO specialist pero ala ka pang experience. Kunyari, gusto mo in the near future, SEO specialist ka, pero ala ka pang experience, okay lang yon. Instead of making up skills, instead of SEO 5-star ka kaagad, you position yourself as an admin or Canva assistant. If yun lang munang experience mo, no? Parang ako dati, Canva lang yung alam ko. Canva lang yung skill ko. Canva lang yung binibenta ko, image design. So habang tumatagal, nagkaroon ako ng experience sa WordPress, naglalagay ako ng WordPress, tapos natutuwa ako mag-social media, natutuwa ako mag-video editing, doon ko na master yung role na talagang ginagawa ko. Doon ako sinet apart yung sarili ko, no? Pero nga, what I just know is gumawa lang ng Canva posters, yun lang naman yung alam ko eh. Kumbaga, nagpakatotoo lang ako. And over time, pag nakakakuha ka na ng clients, may mga magtitiwala na sa yung employer or pwede ka nang mag-alok ng ibang services mo. Like, kunyari, nakikita mo yung sarili mo sa SEO. Kung natanggap ka na sa Canva, sa admin, i-alok mo yung keyword research kahit same lang yung bayad sa'yo. Keyword research, para tumaas na yung skill mo doon. Kasi kung nag-aaral ka naman talaga ng SEO, ang problema mo lang, hindi mo pa na-apply, papayagan ka naman ni client niyan, no? Then, yun na yung time na i-adjust mo ulit yung profile mo, showcasing na mataas na yung skills mo sa SEO. And that is exactly what employers are looking for. Reality, yung totoo lang, over big claims, na nag-hire sila ng honest people, na not super highly skilled, na 5 stars lahat. And another thing to keep in mind, that steady growth is very attractive to clients, no? Yung steady growth, attractive sa clients nila yan. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, if they can see that you are already good at something, kung magaling ka sa Canva, nakita talaga na magaling ka talaga sa Canva or magaling kang maging admin, hindi ka tutulog-tulog, magaling ka sumagot sa mga email, they view you as someone worth investing long term. Ite-train ka niyan. For example, no, VA ka who starts with customer support and slowly learn social media management. Often, you get repeat contracts because employers see potential in that kind of progress. Nakikita nila yung progress mo, nag-expand ka. They're going to invest on you. Kasi ganoon naman talaga, yung iba naman talaga, hindi naman talaga nag-hire ng mga superstar eh. Tsaka mas mahirap mag-hire ng superstar kasi yung mga superstar, matitigas na yung ulo ng mga yan. Akala nila sila magagaling na sila. Parang ako, hindi ako superstar. So they don't think of ratings as a competition where the goal is to hit 5 stars everywhere. Huwag mo iset na yung skills mo lahat 5 star. 3 lang, pwede na. No? 3, tas 4 stars, 3 din. No? Depende no, kung alam mo talaga, no? Wag lang lagay ng lagay, guys. So, yun, no? Think of it as a proof of your honesty and your readiness to do the work that matches your current abilities. When you rate yourself realistically, totoo lang, you immediately look more trustworthy, mas katiwa-tiwala, and trust is what leads employers to send you that interview invite. Yung tiwala na yun. Once you have an honest skills list alongside a solid bio, a verified account, yan, pag ginawa niyo na yung pinagsasabi ko in the very beginning of this video, your profile can finally work the way it's supposed to. But that's just the foundation, no? Hindi dyan natatapos ang lahat. The real challenge comes next. Choosing the right jobs to apply for so you don't waste those application slots and end up waiting weeks without a single reply. Ito na yung challenge. Finding beginner jobs that actually pay. Most beginners sa onlinejobs.ph go through the same cycle. Yung mga baguhan, no? Kung ikaw baguhan, makinig ka. Hahanap sila ng trabaho, they click apply, and then wait for days or even weeks without hearing back. Yung silence talaga is the thing that makes them feel discouraged. Kasi iisipin mo, you're just wasting your time doing daily application. Pero meron talagang reason behind this. And it's not because yung website hindi nagwo-work. It's about how you carefully, you choose the jobs and how well you follow the instructions for each one. Hindi marunong mag-follow ng instructions. The truth is, marami talagang beginner-friendly jobs posted on onlinejobs.ph. Marami talaga. Every single day, maraming no experience job posts. Kung gusto mo lang mag-experience, maraming job posts talaga walang experience dyan. Some employers even tag their postings na no experience required. So it's clear they're open to training new workers. You often find simple tasks like data entry, virtual assistants for small business, or research-based work. These are real opportunities for people who haven't built a long freelancing history yet. But the difference between getting a reply or being ignored is usually in the small details that many beginners overlook. Makinig ka mabuti, no? Ito lagi yung na-overlook ng mga beginner. And one of the most common mistakes is they're not paying attention to the hidden instructions in the job postings. Kasi employers who want serious applicants often include a test in the job post, no? This test is usually napaka-simple. They ask you to type a specific keyword or phrase somewhere in the subject line or at the beginning of your application message. For example, yung employer, sasabihin nila, you have to write, please include the word banana in your subject to prove yung subject line ng email mo, to prove you read this, para ma-proof na binasa mo kasi yun nga yung instruction doon sa job post. And karamihan ng mga tao, hindi talaga nagbabasa. They just send generic proposal, templated proposal, copy-paste AI generic proposal. Tapos hindi na nila nasusunod yung pinapagawa ng nag-job post. So, doon pa lang makikita nung nag-job post, syempre pag marami nag-a-apply, makikita nila yung mga hindi sumusunod. Yun, no? And the moment you skip it, they delete your application without reading anything else. Di-delete nila yon. Ginagawa nila yon, no, to filter out people who mass apply without reading. Yung mga pupunta lang sa onlinejobs.ph na uubusin yung 10 application nila by sending generic proposal. Akala nila mag-work yun. Now, for people naman na searching opportunities na no experience required, eto, kung wala kang experience, makinig ka, ito pwede mong gawin to. Nag-work talaga to, nag-work to. Dati pa, at kahit ngayon, tinry ko siya ngayon, gumagana talaga siya. What you can do is to type sa search bar, no experience. This often bring up positions designed for beginners. Pag nasa-search ka, lagyan mo lang ng no experience. Tingnan mo, makakita ka ng mga job posts na pag nag-take ka talaga ng time, ubus ka ng 30 minutes to 1 hour, makikita mo talaga yung mga job posting na wala talagang experience. At may mga papagawa lang sa iyo na dapat mong sundin, no, pag nag-apply ka. And once you have the result, pay attention to the date, no. Syempre, gusto mong mag-apply doon sa mga currently pa lang na job post like 1 hour ago, 4 hours ago, 8 hours ago, doon ka mag-a-apply, wag naman yung 5 days ago na, no. Employers are usually overwhelmed with applicants within the first 24 hours, no. Nag-post sila, madami na silang matatanggap niyan. So, better find bago pa lang sa paningin mo or dun sa date, no, sa oras na pinag-post nila yon. And applying early increases your chances of being noticed compared to sending your application weeks later when they have already shortlisted candidates. Okay, the next thing to remember is the daily application limit. Onlinejobs.ph only allows 10 application per day. 10 lang, no? Kapag super verified yung profile mo, meron ka ng 10 application per day, open ka mag-apply sa 10 job post doon. And that means you must be strategic in how you're going to use them. Many beginners waste their slots by applying blindly to 10 random jobs in one sitting. Yun nga, yung mga tao na pupunta sa onlinejobs.ph, mag-online, tapos meron silang 10 kada araw, mag-a-apply sila, send lang sila ng generic, no, hi, pare-pares lang, no, general VA, pare-pares lang yung message nila, the same message. And this approach almost guarantees silence, crickets, walang papansin sa inyo, no? Kasi nga kadalasan meron, kumbaga ganun yung mga mga nag-hire, meron papa-mention sa iyo. Ay kung hindi mo gagawin 'yon, hindi ka talaga mabibigyan ng pagkakataon. And instead, apply with intention. Ang dapat mong gawin, mag-intention ka talaga na pumili ka ng job, ng trabaho na unang-una match on your verified skills, no, yung mga skills na pinaglalagay mo doon sa profile mo, yun din yung hanapin mo. Kung data entry, kung video editing, kung social media. And syempre, pag naglagay ka doon sa search ka ng job, no experience, para mas mataas yung chance na pag wala kang experience, pwede kang ma-hire. Kung meron naman, di wag mo nang lagyan. Kung meron ka talagang experience sa corporate or sa ibang pinagtrabahuhan mo, no. So, yun, no, use those 10 slots, no, wisely. Bibigyan ka ng 10 job application araw-araw at gamitin mo yon wisely kasi limited nga yung chances mo each day. Another thing beginners don't realize is how much employers judge based on subject lines and personalization. Imagine an inbox full of hundreds of emails that all look the same. A subject line like applying for a VA job won't get any attention. Applying for a VA job, parang kasi halos araw-araw na nila nare-receive yan eh. But if you wrote, no, application, banana, entry-level VA with Canva experience, following their keyword instructions, so na sinunod mo yung pinapagawa nila, no, kung ano yung subject line, kailangan may banana, that instantly shows you read their post and tailored your message, no. Mabibigyan ka na ng konsiderasyon, dun pa lang mababasa na, no, mabibigyan ka ng chance, and that's all you need. Chance, no. That short detail can separate you from the majority of applicants. They delete without opening. Pag di nila sinusunod yon, di ba, kumbaga, sa iyo yun, pabor sa iyo kasi nga, hindi sila sumusunod eh. Ikaw, sumusunod ka, di ba? Kung sumusunod ka, bibigyan ka ng chance, no, di ba? So, when it comes to the message, no, sa body, dun sa message mo, kailangan polite ka, no, and formal but also personal. Wag naman chat GPT yung message mo kasi mas nafe-feel, no, ng employer mo pag totoo, wag na hindi naka-chat GPT, no. Introduce yourself briefly, no, mention one specific task they describe in the posting that you can confidently handle and includes your contact information. Paano ka nila kontakin, yung email mo, your whatever, no, na pwede nilang makontak, WhatsApp number, no. Don't just paste your resume link na walang context. Kung nilagay mo lang dun sa baba na ito yung resume link ko, wag ganon. Kumbaga, hey, this is my resume and you can find out where I worked for doon sa mga past na mga pinagtrabahuan ko, dyan mo makikita. Pwede mong gawin yon, no? Lagyan mo ng konting context bakit mo sinishare yung resume. Hindi lang, ito yung resume ko, bahala ka na dyan. I-hire mo na ako. Wag ganon. So, employers like to feel that you took the time to write to them, no? Not just send them the same template to everyone. Even 2 to 3 short paragraphs can be enough, no, if they're relevantly and respectful. Kung mga dapat nandun talaga yung respeto sa tuwing mag-a-apply ka, no, by targeting fresh postings, paying attention to hidden instructions, and writing personalized introductions, your odds of getting replies goes up significantly. Talagang may magre-reply sa'yo dyan. And it turns the process from waiting endlessly into finally landing interviews, even as a first-timer. So now, you know onlinejobs.ph is a real platform where Filipinos can land legit work-from-home jobs. The only difference between those people na sumasakses at dun sa field stuck pa rin everyday, araw-araw, is how they really present themselves. A strong ID proof, a bio that sounds like you, honest skills ratings, and personalized applications make a huge difference. And if seseryosohin mo talaga ito, employers will notice. Now, it's your time, no? Comment mo kung anong skill yung planado mong i-highlight dun sa onlinejobs.ph profile mo on the comment section about. And please don't forget to subscribe. If this video has value, mag-subscribe ka dito sa channel and turn on the notification bell. And like this video as well para mas ma-recommend pa siya sa iba at may makatulong tayo sa ibang mga tao. Yun lang po sa ating mga subscribers. Maraming salamat po sa inyo and God bless. Have a nice week or day. Thank you for watching this video.